don't think I need to say too much about our keynote speaker to inspire this audience. Inogen's story is well known. It started at a business plan competition at UC Santa Barbara. We were fortunate enough to have had the co-founders in one of our early classes, 40 under 40. We won't say how many years ago that was. I'm really excited because when you invite as a keynote a person who is an executive officer at a publicly traded company, there's always this crazy little thing in your head, you know, what's going to happen in a few days before. And so in introducing Ali Bauerlein, co-founder and CFO at Inogen, I will leave you with two things. Yesterday, their stock closed over $50 for the first time. In a world where unicorns matter, and for those of you who don't know, unicorns are companies that go from startup to $1 billion in value. Yesterday's market capitalization of Inogen was $990 million.
Quite an intro. So actually, Byron told me right before I started, we're at 995 million. So we're getting very close now to that $1 billion mark. And just for those who don't know me and don't know my background, myself and my two other co-founders, Brenton Taylor and Byron Myers, started Inogen when we were students at UC Santa Barbara. At the time, Brenton and I were sophomores, Byron was a senior, and my grandmother got put on oxygen. And I got to see her struggle with the existing technology. And it really changed her life. She lived in Camarillo, so she was very close. And I got to see that she couldn't travel, she couldn't do the things that she wanted to because she was restrained by her oxygen tanks and how many oxygen tanks that she had, and worrying about traffic on the way home. All of those things were now daily considerations for her. And so she was actually the one who said, why isn't there a better solution? Everything else has gotten smaller, lighter, and better. Why hasn't my oxygen? And so being a young 19-year-old student at UC Santa Barbara, I said, I don't know, why isn't there something better out there? And so we started exploring how we could solve this problem and realized that there actually was an opportunity to create a product, a portable oxygen concentrator that would replace the stationary concentrators as well as the tanks and allow the patient to have that freedom and mobility. And at the time, we didn't know anything about how to create oxygen, how to start a medical device company, how to become a manufacturer, nothing. We just really we had a great idea. And that's what I think is really exciting about hearing about other people's business ideas is a lot of people think that you have to have this huge business background and you've got to do all of these things before you can start a company and make a difference. And what I really want people to know is you don't have to have all that. Those are very nice to have things, and certainly we could have used them many, many times over. But if you have a good idea and you have a vision, you can look for opportunities to make that dream happen. So as Henry mentioned, obviously we're a publicly traded company now. We started the company in 2001, so we've been now an overnight success 14 years later. So it's been a little bit of a long road for us. And one thing that I think people always miss when they talk about companies who have had that great success and now are a very large company, the small companies don't always hear about all the struggles and the things that went wrong and how difficult it was. And there were so many times that we all thought that the company could close its doors and we would be out of business. And that's a natural part of a startup. There are many times, we've had many times where we were completely out of cash. We had no cash, no ability to pay our bills, and we had to figure it out. We had times where we had to lay people off. We had times where customers wouldn't pay. We had times where we had to raise money at a down round. And now, as you know, a publicly traded company with an almost $1 billion market cap, it's hard for people to reconcile that, because you think, oh, this is just this great success. But these things happen, and they're a natural part of any startup. And for those who are going through those hard times, you're not alone. This happens to every person, and frankly, I think that's what makes a great entrepreneur, is somebody who can see all of that bad stuff happening and still want to push forward, and still try and figure out how they can keep things progressing and not losing sight of their goal. So I think that's extremely important. I also think it's unique that we started so young. And I encourage everybody in here who is saying, I don't have the experience, I have a great idea, but I don't know how to get started. Look for mentors. That was something that was absolutely critical for us in getting started, was finding the right people who could help us along our way. And there are so many people that I couldn't even name all the people that have helped us along the way, going from just an idea on through, but from mentors to lawyers to accountants to UCSB, everybody really got behind us. And I think that's what's great about our community, is that you do have a community of people who want to help and want to have companies succeed. And now, you know, we can say we have over 400 employees, we've helped thousands of patients worldwide, we're in 45 countries worldwide, and we're continuing to make a difference in people's lives. And that's really what small businesses are all about, is they have passion for some way that they can improve the community that we're all in. And that's something that I personally am extremely proud of. So I do want to congratulate all of our winners today. I know we have a great group of winners, some of you who I know and others who I'm very excited to hear about your stories. I certainly wish you all the best in your endeavors. If there's anything that I can do to help provide insight, I'm always happy to help and pass on. And for those who are in your darker days and wondering whether things are going to survive or not, we all have been in those situations, and I have faith you guys will get through it. So I'm not going to keep everybody from lunch, because I know that's the next thing on the agenda, but just thank you for the time today.
Before we serve lunch, you know, at the business times, we don't really get too far along without having a piece of hardware to take home. So